Hi crafty friends, this is Jen from Katahdin Crafts, and I am participating in the Same Set Syndrome Hop today. This is going to be a 6-month hop that comes out at the end of each month, and our point of this hop is to be supporting small businesses. And of course, there's going to be some prizes involved for all of you. At the end of the 6 months, there's going to be a $50 gift certificate to a sponsor of your choice. This month, we are being sponsored by the fabulous company Joy Claire Designs, and they will be giving away a $25 gift certificate, but you must hop along to everybody, subscribe, and comment on all participants, please. Before I started my project, I wanted to mention my new mat that I have from Altenew. I love my glass media mat, but I was discovering that it kind of had a lot of glares on it. So I just thought I would try this up or change this up and see how this works for me. So starting off my project, I selected Party Animals, that stamp set from Joy Claire. And what I'm doing right now is I'm using Tailored Expressions circle stencils, and I'm just deciding where I'm going to line that up. I didn't want it in the center, and I wanted it to hang off a little bit on the side. These stencils are very versatile. And then I'm just going to set it up where I wanted it and then put it into my stamp platform, and I'm going to use the alligator from the Party Animals set. He's wicked cute. I love it. And he's not an aggressive looking alligator, which, you know, that's always a good thing. He looks like he's ready to have a good time at the party. So I'm just inking this up with Lawn Fawn's Jet Black ink, which is Copic friendly. That is my medium of choice quite often. And now I'm going to use Inkadinkadoo's masking stencil and just cut out a mat. So when you stamp this on, it doesn't have to be anything special. It doesn't have to be repetitive, just a quick little outline. And I am going to fussy cut this out. And as you can see, I'm going to take off that balloon because I can add that black balloon string right in after. So it's not a big deal to cut that apart, and it's a little bit easier when you're going to go ahead and blend over the inks. So now I'm adding the mask on top of the stamp. So you can see I'm just taking my time to line it up. I don't often actually stamp right directly onto my projects. I tend to stamp on separate and then cut them out either with the coordinating dies or my scan and cut. That's just my preference, but I was trying to think out of my box, which I like to do and change things up and learn. So I thought that I would try to do some masking. And now I'm going to do some ink blending with my Distress Oxide inks. The first one that I'm going to use is Mowed Lawn. And then I'm going to use Scattered Straw, Spiced Marmalade, and Tumbled Glass. I tend to use tumbled glass in almost all of my projects. That is definitely my favorite oxide ink, and you've probably heard me, if you've been following along on my channel, you've probably heard me say that several times. Now I'm just blending. I'm trying not to use too heavy of a hand. I'm starting on the outside of the stencil first, so I get a little bit of that off, the ink off, so I don't make circles or marks on there. And you can see, actually, it got a little bit on my mat, and I was curious. It didn't work with the microcloth like my glass media mat would, but I just used my Lawn Fawn Shammy, and that came right off. And so now I'm going to pick up the mask, which is, you know, this is the fun part of any masking project. And voila, I love it. Who doesn't like that? That is, like, my kids always say, that's so satisfying, and that totally is satisfying in this case. And what I was pointing out there is that the blending of the spiced marmalade and a little bit of that scattered straw with the tumbled glass made a little bit of a green line, and to me it looked like kind of like a tree line. And as you can see right there, my spiced marmalade kind of rolled, the blending tool rolled over and made a mark. And what I edited out here is my little bit of a hissy fit. I was like, what am I going to do with this? And I had, you know, the project pretty well done or well started at this point, and I was kind of stressed out. But you know what? I should never fear, because there's always a solution to every mistake, because there really aren't any mistakes in paper crafting. There are just creative solutions and plan B. And so that's what I did. I went to plan B. So what I'm doing here is just stamping on the sentiment from the set, Happy Birthday. in this really pretty scripty writing. And I did that a few times, and that's what these stamp platforms are definitely great for, because I freak out when I have to use a block, honestly. It gives me stress, so I love that these have come out. And I can't wait to get the new Misty, actually. I've been waiting for it. It was supposed to be out in May, but you know, the whole world went kind of nutty. So I am patiently waiting and hoping for an update. And there we go. And so now I'm still, I had an idea of what I was going to do to try to fix that spot, which right now on the screen I can't see it very well, but it was there and it was driving me wackadoo. So I'm using Hero Arts cardstock for my mat, and this is where I'm coming up with my solution to my mistake. So I'm going to heat emboss another sentiment using VersaFine ink, and then I'm going to use Hero Arts white ultra fine embossing powder. And I'm just using a paintbrush right now to get off a few of the extras. I used an anti-static powder before I heat embossed it, or excuse me, before I stamped it. And now I'm just going to heat that up and make sure that all of the powder is melted. And try not to burn my fingers. I should probably have put that in my tweezers. And now I'm just going to simply cut it down to the size that I wanted, which is just right around the actual sentiment, because I need it to be fitting under the main sentiment, and this being the sub sentiment. And see, there you go. No mistakes in paper crafting. You can fix it all. And now I'm going to start coloring our alligator or crocodile. Well, we're just going to call it an alligator. So I have all of the Copic marker colors on the screen. And for the card panel, the front of the card panel, I cut that at 5 3/4. And then the mat is at 5 1/4 and 4 times 4. And then I'm going to do the A2 size card base, which is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored at the 4 1/4 mark. So your standard A2 card, but I wanted a double matte look to it. And this is a fairly simple card for me, which is nice. You know, it didn't take me forever to do all the Copic marker coloring, which that was, it's refreshing sometimes to put in, you know, to do a project that doesn't take hours and hours. And I love the way it came out. It's a very cute set. There's 3 other images. There's a turtle, a pig, and a cow. And actually, I debated, the cow was really cute too. And there's a sentiment that says, "Party to the cows come home." So I cannot wait to see what my fellow crafters did with this set as well. And I'd be curious of what images they decided to go with. And I'm just doing the balloon in some reds. I was trying to go with a nice bright color, kind of a subtle background that I had going on. And now you can see I'm just using a Copic multi-liner, and I'm just going back in with those black marks that got taken out when I was doing the ink blending. And so that's really simple. And now I'm using a black gel pen and just going over the eyes and the nostrils. And then I'm going to use my white gel pen to do some highlights. And sometimes I wonder if I over highlight, but you know, I go with what makes me happy, and that makes me happy. I'm not the best at looking at the shadows and all that stuff. I go with what I aesthetically feel is right. And yeah, that's what I like. And now I'm putting the sentiment in the inside, and I just decided to put that little bit of a cake slice in there because I thought it was cute. And I'm trying to do the inside of the cards a lot more. I have been talking about that on my channel as well. I do love the look of it. And this one was pretty simple. I didn't color it. I just added the black and white outline, and I thought that was enough. And using my bone folder, which I always use to crease my card. And now I'm just going to assemble everything. And I wanted to shout out to Allison Kulka from Allie K Creations. She put this wonderful hop together. It's a lot of work coordinating 20 different people and channels, and she took this on for 6 months. So that's fantastic. Thank you so much, Allie. I appreciate it. This was fun. And I love the idea that we're selecting a different business every month, and they've been so great in, you know, sponsoring us. And yeah, it's a great opportunity. I appreciate it. So now I'm just going to add a few embellishments. And this little craft embellishment tray is from Twiddler's Nook on Etsy. And it's wicked cute. I actually have 3 different ones. And I also have her new magnet holder. And I just haven't broken that out yet. I wanted to kind of do like a little reveal kind of, a haul kind of thing. I've got a few extra supplies. I just haven't gotten to that yet, but I will, and I can't wait to use it. And she's also come out with some new embellishments on her Etsy shop, so everybody check that out. It's all about small businesses. And now here I'm just using some multimedia matte and putting on my embellishments, which is the Spring Leaves collection from Little Things from Lucy's Cards. And the tool that I'm using is Crystal Katana. I think that I'm saying that right. And I use it pretty much on everything that I do, especially if I am using the embellishments, and see how that works to get everything right back into the box, the craft tray. And there you go. My project is complete. And again, shout out to Allie K Creations on YouTube and Insta for coordinating this hop for us. And next up on the hop is Katie Williams. Make sure you spread the love, please. Thank you so much.